Thank you, Phyllis. Good morning, everyone. Today we have a lot of choice, and we're going to exercise it. Today I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today I choose to be grateful, grateful. Today I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful. Today I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. Today I choose to be loving, so loving. Today I choose to be loving, loving. Today I choose to be joyful, so joyful. Today I choose to be joyful, joyful. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. It's all up to me. Today I choose to be playful, so playful. Today I choose to be playful, playful. Today I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today I choose to be grateful, grateful. To be grateful, grateful. To be grateful, grateful. Oh, thank you, Karen, for that fun song. Well, we hope you've had a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and we're going to continue by singing some of our favorites. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Would you all join together with me in affirming our statement of being? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and abundance through me. In it, I live and move and have my being. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Bloomington's live streaming service. We want to extend a special welcome to everyone who is participating in our online service for the first time. And you probably have found us, so you don't need for me to tell you this, but just as a reminder, you can find the links for the service on our website. And also want to let you know that we also have a link at this same website for our YouTube page, which is simultaneously streaming. And if you watch on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you won't miss a thing from us. You can find those links again on our streaming, for both streaming services, on the homepage of the website, unityofbloomington.org. And on that site, you can also sign up for our newsletter. At Unity, we offer practical, spiritual teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. We are a center for spiritual growth, and we provide inspiration, tools, and practices that support people on their path to spiritual growth. So now we'll do the community response. I'll read the first part, and you do the two-word response. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere.
God is.
I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone.
I am.
I create my experiences by what I think, feel, do, and believe.
I create.
Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life.
I pray.
And I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference.
I live.
So it is. And now, Ginger Curry will have a moment with our young'uns.
Thank you so much, Joni. Good morning, everyone. There are a few things I want to start with. And first of all, maybe down there. Not yet. First of all, we are going to look at some of the art projects that some of our community members have done with what they've been receiving in the mail from Reverend Lynette and I. So let's put that. Oh my goodness, look, it is Zaylee, and she created a mask that we sent out last week, or 2 weeks ago. And what we were talking about was, what do we want people to see when they look in our eyes? And so Zaylee told her mother Jasmine that when people looked at her and looked at her eyes, she wanted to make sure that they saw her love, that they saw her beauty and her wisdom and her kindness. Now, I don't know about you, but I got chills when I saw that posted. I was like, I'm so proud of our young people for what they're learning and incorporating in their lives. And now let's see what her brother Ty wants people to see when they look at him. And he wants people to see him as a superhero. And I don't know about you, but I see a superhero there because he's practicing his power of zeal. That's one of our spiritual powers. And he's also embracing his love for life. And I'm just so very grateful that Jasmine posted these to our Facebook page so that we could be inspired by our young people. So we are entering into July and our play zone. That is our theme. Joni's going to talk about it a little later. But to get us started, I wanted to get my bubble machine started. I don't know, can you see those bubbles going? Because I have decided that bubbles make life so much more fun. And I don't know, I was in here this morning and I started the bubble machine and I told Phyllis that I was blessing the sanctuary with the bubbles. So we were creating a lot of good energy this morning through our bubble machine. And I wanted one of our families to enjoy their very own bubble machine. And so I have my assistant Betsy, and she is you can't see her right now, but she is rifling through one of our singer bowls where there is names of some of our families, and she's picking out one. You can't see her. She has a mask on, and her eyes are closed. So you know that this is on the up and up. So she's digging in there, and she's going to hand me one. I'm going to reach my hand down through the magic of technology. Here we go. And we have the Stevens family. So Shirley and Abba and Isaiah, I'm going to drop this off to your house sometime this week. So be expecting your own personal bubble machine so that you can make every day a bubblicious day. So as we go through our week, young people, I want you to make every day a joyful, a playful day, and let your spirit shine bright. Let's sing to our children.
Let your spirit shine, 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 shine. Let your spirit shine, 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 shine. Let your spirit shine, 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 shine. Children of the world, let your spirit shine. Children of the world, let your spirit shine. Children of the world, let your spirit shine, shine, shine.
Thank you, Ginger. My house is going to be full of bubbles for the rest of the week, I'm pretty sure now. July 2020's theme is play. This month we continue with Unity's 2020 theme of perfect vision, seeing through a spiritual lens. And this month the lens that is suggested to us is play. The focus is on play and the power of getting lost in moments of pure joy. When we give ourselves the gift of play, free and unrestrained, we release life's daily responsibilities and we take time for joy. Our imaginations are unleashed and we take flight into exuberant expression. We become spontaneous, childlike, and carefree, enjoying playfulness simply for the pleasure that it brings. Whenever and whatever we play, we allow ourselves to be absorbed in the joy of the moment. Laughter and even silliness brings balance to our days and heals our bodies, minds, and souls. When the cares of life threaten to weigh us down, Spirit calls us to relax and lighten up. The gifts of play are always just a thought away. And this month we affirm, I play in the zone, free and unrestrained. So join me, please, in claiming this truth as our own. Together, I play in the zone, free and unrestrained. Have a few announcements for this morning, and one of them is that we have now hired a new administrative assistant, Patricia Erdman. Most of you will recognize her. Patricia has a lot of experience, and she has been on the job since June 22nd and learning everything she can about the quirks of our office, and she brings a lot of experience that will help our office. So when you get a chance to speak to Patricia, please thank her for stepping up to this work. Also want to remind you that next week, July 12th at 11:30, the Unity Virtual Cafe will open, and there are instructions in the newsletter, and I'll just kind of go over them today. All you have to do is click on the Join Zoom link following the service that will be included in these PowerPoints. At the end of the service, if you click on the Zoom meeting link, it will bring you into the conversation. Sometimes this works best if you've already downloaded Zoom, but you don't really have to do that. So we hope that you can join us. If you have any troubles getting online, let us know. We'll see what we can do to help you. And now we'll read the daily word. The word for today is comfort. Christ in me is my comfort. Experiences that move me out of my comfort zone are part of my life. Let me say that again. I think we all know this. Experiences that move me out of my comfort zone are part of my life. The first day at a new school, starting or leaving a job, a new phase in a relationship, retiring from a career, passing of a loved one. Any change can evoke discomfort, even grief. I grieve when I think of change as loss of security, loss of my place in the community, or loss of love. The Christ, the divine presence of life, love, and wisdom within me is my constant source of comfort through all of life's changes. I find assurance that although physical expressions may change, life can never end. I know that oneness and love with all who have been dear to me. Recognizing my divine nature, I know that there is no loss, change, or circumstance that can limit me, and I am comforted. And from Psalms number 71, verse 21, you will increase my honor and comfort me once again. So let's join together in saying the affirmation, Christ in me is my comfort. Together, Christ in me is my comfort. And now once more, quietly to yourself, affirm, Christ in me is my comfort. Our message this morning will be provided by our spiritual ministry co-coordinator, Ginger Curry, and Phyllis Wycliffe will be providing our musical inspiration.
Oh my. All we needed was some firecrackers to go off at the end of that. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for being open to your talent and saying, I'm present and I'm going to give. Thank you so very much. Good morning, everyone. I do wish and hope that you had a wonderful weekend. However you celebrated this July 4th. I am so very grateful for this community. Many of you know that I have been attending Unity of Bloomington for 20 years now. So, I started coming when I was 10, and I've kind of grown up in it. So I'm very grateful for the experiences, for the growth, for the inspiration that each one of you have provided for me. And I'm reminded, as we looked at our children's moment earlier today, of how inspiring our young people are in our community. The lessons that they are teaching us, the example that they are giving us. And then I look to, as we would say, our elders in our community, those who have lived life, and the lessons that they also give us. And that if we can combine those, the inspiration of the young with the lessons from our elders, combine that so that we can express those insights into our life in this present moment. I'm not sure what was going on in the atmosphere or the planets, but for me this week, it was a very emotional and up and down kind of experience. And I have never in my life, as in this year 2020, been grateful for the teachings and for the gifts that I have been given through this community. Because the tools that I have learned are what helped me navigate this past week. For the first time in my life, I experienced, and I will call it a mini panic attack. And I've never experienced one of these before. And I'm grateful that I kind of knew I was aware that something was happening, because, whoa, all of a sudden I was feeling things so intensely and panicking for not really any reason other than maybe some of my emotions needed to come out and express themselves because they've been building up. And I was so grateful that I could recognize what was happening in my body and go, oh, where'd that feeling come from? And I felt it because we've talked about it here, that when we feel emotions, something happens. It's a chemical explosion, so to speak, and that we have the ability, if we are aware enough, to decide after 90 seconds or so, sometimes it takes longer, we can pull ourselves out of that because we realize that it takes a while for all of those chemicals to flow through our body. And then in that next moment, we have the opportunity to either reconnect back into that feeling, or we can recognize it and then use some of the tools that we have learned here to make a shift and to realize that, wow, that is a pretty earthly human experience that I just felt. Wow. And for the past, I'm not sure how many months, maybe it was back in January, we have been talking about how no matter the circumstance that I find myself in, that you and I have the choice to decide how we are going to experience that. Because we're having a lot of circumstances right now. And it's time for you and I to make the choice of how we're going to experience what is happening around us. What I appreciate most about our community is the opportunity to reflect on certain ideas and thoughts that I have and to flesh them out and make sure that they line up to what I am truly professing to believe. And this morning when we were discussing some of these patriotic songs, because we have these, spiritual ideals and truths that we aspire to. And we also have these patriotic and American ideals of justice and freedom for all that we aspire to. And yet in this reality that we find ourselves in, we don't always express those highest ideals that we hold. And through sorting through these ideas, we see where we're not quite reaching the height of that perfect idea. And we find where there's areas in our life and where there's areas in our country and where there's areas in our thinking where it is time to release old ideas and open ourselves to new ideas. I appreciate the fact that I have the opportunity to reflect on my life and how I'm showing up in the world at this moment in time, and that I can make a choice to live my light, to let my spirit shine, to live my love, to be love in action, to live my compassion, and to live my strength, and to live my sense of wanting everyone in the world to have the opportunity to express their highest. And knowing that through my life, I've been navigating what my part is in it to play. And I'm just so grateful that I'm on the journey with all of you. So, how do we learn? Well, one of the ways we learn is when we feel safe and when we can release some of our insecurities and when we can play free and unrestrained. When we can release some of those worries of the everyday and know that when, as Joni said, when we find ourselves out of our comfort zone, that we can always know that Christ within us is our source of peace and comfort. Jesus said that unless you become like these little ones, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Unless you and I can open our eyes and connect to the beauty and the imagination and the excitement of a child, then you and I can't enter the kingdom of heaven. And for me, what the kingdom of heaven means is that in this moment, I'm either experiencing hell or I'm experiencing heaven. And if I'm experiencing heaven, I'm not tapping into that childlike wonder, that childlike curiosity. And we've talked about this a lot here, to be curious when there's something that we don't understand, to be curious, to be open to new ideas. You and I have a lot of power if we realize that we can create. In Genesis, God made us in, we can say his image, her image, in the image, because we have the power to create, and that's the power of God, the power of creation, the activity of God. That is our gift, that we can take a situation and we can either become victims of that situation and go, why me? Why is this happening to me? Or we can say, wow, this is the situation. What are we going to do? What are we going to create? And so I want to tell you a story about one of our creators in our community. One of our young people, one of our inspirations. She was so disappointed when she learned that the Monroe County Fair was not going to happen this year. I don't know about you. You might have, I don't know when there's ever not been a fair. I'm not sure. They always happen. And what do you do when something that always happens doesn't happen? Well, our little Mabry, she decided that she was going to have her own Monroe County Fair. And so, Seb, let's put that photo up there. And this is Welcome to the Monroe County Fair 2020. You can see there is the welcome table. If we go to the next slide, there's your entrance. You can get your tickets. And it actually looks like you could probably cash in those tickets for some prizes. If you go to the next slide, you'll see that there are some games at the fair, because what fair would not be complete without some games? And then there's some ring tosses. I don't know how good you are at ring tosses. My dad was telling me there was this game that they used to play called washers, where they would dig a hole in the ground and just toss washers into the hole and see how many they could get, kind of like and I told him about cornhole, which honestly I've never played. But I do know what a ring toss is, and all the fun that can be had there. The next slide is a water balloon station, because it's hot at the fair. You must have a water balloon station to cool off. And then there's the hula hoop station, because what party would not be complete without a hula hoop? And if you look closely, I believe that there are even animals. They might be the stuffed kind, but there are some animals at the fair that Mabry, she visioned it, and with the help of, her family, she created it, manifested it. And then we have a duck pond. I love ducks, so I'm sure that those ducks had a really fun time. And then no fair is complete without some food. And so we have the popcorn stand where you can get your popcorn. We have a snow cone stand and a hot dog stand. Actually, I fed my daddy hot dog. Well, they weren't real hot dogs. They were vegetarian hot dogs. But I fed my daddy hot dogs yesterday because it was July the 4th. But we have hot dogs and snow cones. And then here we have a picture of Mabry enjoying the hot dogs and the snow cones. And then we cannot leave without giving a shout out to Waylon, because he benefited a lot from the vision that his sister created. The vision, the inspiration that harnessed the whole family so that they could create their experience of a Monroe County Fair. And then let's see this last slide here. Monroe County Fair 2020. So I don't know about you, But Mabry, she created that which a lot of us were probably missing. And so where is our opportunity to use our spiritual gift of creativity? I think it's imagination. That would be our official title of what we would say. Our spiritual gift of imagination to manifest, to create an experience, to see what is happening around us. And instead of saying, oh, why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening to you? To say, well, this is happening. What are we going to create? What are we going to put forth in this situation? And I want to leave you with this verse. It's from Matthew, and this is the New International Version. Jesus is speaking here, and he says, truly I tell you, unless you change, unless you turn away and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. You will never have that experience of heaven, that experience of peace, that experience of freedom, that experience of play, that experience of spiritual and physical freedom. And that is what I wish for all people, all living beings on this planet, is that you have the opportunity to express, to shine your light brightly, to live your life to its fullest. We're going to prepare for meditation now by opening our hearts, by softening a bit, so that we can allow the activity of God to work in and as us. I invite you to take a nice deep breath and release. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes. Unwind your body. Take another deep breath. Oh, and as you release, feel that physical release. Unloading any tension, setting down any burden. With all things in life, there is balance. A time to work, a time to rest. A time to replenish, and a time to play. When I am in the zone, am free. I am unrestrained. I am experiencing that heaven. When I am in the zone, I am aware that whatever is happening around me, whatever I might be experiencing physically, that's just the little R reality of me. But I am so much more. I am eternal. I am limitless. I am connected. I am one. In the zone, I am free. I am unrestricted. In the zone, that's my natural state. Feeling uptight, feeling anxious. These are not the truth of me. These are fleeting experiences, and they do not run deep. But the peace that passeth understanding, the joy that runs through my veins, that is the capital T truth of who I am. And when I breathe, when I remember, I am renewed. And when I am renewed, my energy swells, and I am able to shine my light as bright as the sun, to shine my light, to bring warmth, to bring life, to bring comfort. To bring vision into the shadow. And so let's breathe and rest for the next few minutes as we renew and we re-energize in the silence. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to you are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth,
blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Thank you, Ginger. And thank you, Phyllis and the music team, and Seb and Andy for making sure this works every Sunday. We now turn to the spiritual practice of generosity. We are grateful for the many ways that this center supports us in our spiritual growth, and we in turn are happy to support this center with our financial contributions and our voluntary service. We are grateful to those of you who have already put in place automatic weekly, monthly, or quarterly giving. And today, if you feel led to give, please visit our website at unityofbloomington.org and click the giving link. You can also just put a check in the mail. Our mailing address is 4001 South Rogers, 47403. And now let's join together as we affirm our abundance. I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe. God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give the best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. A
let's join together now in blessing our offering. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now I'd like to invite our prayer partner, Ginger Curry,
Thank you,
to close
Joni.
the service.
My name is Ginger, and I am your prayer partner this week. I'd love to celebrate something, or I would love to hold a concern that you might have in prayer with you. So please contact me at gingercurry@gmail.com, and we can connect through the power of the internet. So please feel free to reach out as we support each other at this time. So we close our service with a prayer every Sunday and with the singing of Let There Be Peace on Earth. This is a way that we can remember that not only are we connected in oneness spiritually, but we are connected physically in this world reality. So please join me in saying what I like to call our I Am We Are prayer. Together we are here to glow as the light of God. We are the light of God. We are here to embrace as the love of God. We are the love of God. We are here to stand in truth as the power of God. We are the power of God. We are here to radiate as the presence of God. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please join us in singing, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in purpose.